El Machete is the nickname and very interesting background. Angel Muñoz joins us right now, representing Team LA Elite. All right, when they called you and said, hey, you made the squad, what'd you think?
I was grateful, super excited. I had told Manny before, I was like, hey, I want to be on the team. And he's like, you got to come to tryouts. And I went to tryouts, and I was nervous because there was a lot of competition there. But I think I performed well at the tryouts, and I made the team.
And what's TCL done for your career?
Well, I'm hoping it's going to do more for my career. You know, after these finals, I'm getting a lot more exposure, and I'm gaining a lot more confidence. I think that's the biggest thing right now. I'm definitely gaining more confidence.
What's it like surrounding yourself with a team in a sport like boxing where it's usually just you by yourself?
It's a different experience. You know, I have my team at my home gym, but this is a whole different gym that we're going to with different fighters from everywhere around the area. And it pushes me, it motivates me, and it's a great experience.
All right, only 10 amateur fights. Why?
I only had 10 amateur fights because I started boxing late. I was already 18, and I was in the Army when I turned amateur. My dream was to become a professional athlete my whole life. So obviously I didn't stay in the amateurs too long.
So you were Army. What was your rank?
I was a specialist in the Army, so that's just an E4. I was in the Army for 3.5 years.
All right, so give me your background. Grew up in Southern California, and then you're stationed where?
In North Carolina, all the way across the country.
There's no tacos, no beans over there for you, right?
Not really, not at all.
And there was no boxing?
There really wasn't a big boxing scene out there. I feel like I'm one of the best fighters to make it out of North Carolina, even though I'm not from there, just from what I'm doing and how I carry myself and what I'm accomplishing.
It's interesting. So everybody's like, okay, you're Army.
Yep.
Thank you for your service. You probably fought for the Army boxing team. But no, you didn't.
No, I didn't. There wasn't a real opportunity for the job I was doing. I was infantry. I was airborne, jumping out of airplanes. There wasn't a lot of time to be doing extra stuff. When I was boxing, it was after work, late nights at the gym. Shout out Tony Burgess Boxing in Spring Lake, North Carolina. You know, just hard work, late nights.
What made you want to start boxing?
Like I said, my dream was to become a professional athlete. I was playing football, running track in high school. It didn't end up working out. I went through the service, and I decided, you know, I'm still going to follow my dream, and even if I have to, you know, do extra.
So there was no boxing at all when you're like 8 years old in the backyard or
Nothing.
go to a gym or training?
Nothing.
Were you a boxing fan?
Not even a boxing fan to this day. I mean, I watch a little bit of boxing. Obviously, I watch my film, and there's fighters I'm a fan of. But no, I was in a football and other stuff. You know, got into a couple of, you know, fights in school and stuff, but never into boxing.
So the first day you go to the boxing gym, what was that like?
It was a wake-up call. You know, you're not the fighter you think you are. You know, it takes a lot of patience, a lot of practice. But I was willing to put in the work, and I did.
Okay, you're thinking I'm tough infantry guy. I can hike throughout wherever I'm at. I can survive anywhere.
Yep.
And then you skip rope and you're sucking wind.
Yeah, exactly. It's a whole different thing. And I thought even too, just being a football player, running track, I thought I was athletic. But boxing takes a whole different type of athleticism, and it's a lot of mental. You know, they tell you boxing's a mental game, and I had to rewire my brain into becoming a boxer.
How much has a military background helped you in the sport of boxing?
It's been a huge help because, like I said, I don't have an amateur experience, but I have this life experience that not a lot of fighters have. I was deployed in Afghanistan. I've had a lot of experiences in the Army that have just, now that I'm in the normal world, in the boxing world, I overcome these obstacles with ease because of, you know, my experience in the military.
So when you were in Afghanistan, were you shadow boxing out there trying to train?
You know, I wasn't. I was taking my job serious. It was a dangerous situation for us in Afghanistan. But the whole time I was there, I was thinking like, man, I got to go back home and just train again. I'm going to be rusty. I'm going to have to get back into these amateur fights, get in these tournaments to show them that, you know, I'm still in this.
So you're in a dangerous situation, life on the line, representing your country, and thinking about, okay, if I go back, I'm going to shadow box here, I'm going to try to get some sparring here. Like, that's a different mentality.
I was actually, when we had left Afghanistan, we went to Kuwait. And I was in Kuwait. It was so hot out there. It was just, we're in the desert in the Middle East. And I was trying to go to the gym, trying to start doing my cardio again, start running. And everyone's like, what are you doing? You know, everyone's eating and enjoying life, that we're going back home. And I was like, man, I got to get ready for these fights that are coming. But I've always been a daydreamer. I've always been a dreamer. You know, I've always just dreamt of these bigger dreams and these situations. And I feel like I've made them a reality.
Team Combat League is helping your career how?
Giving me experience, giving me exposure, putting me in there with undefeated fighters, young fighters, competitive fighters. I'm getting experience that even guys with a lot of amateur experience don't have. I mean, we're in there with 8-ounce gloves, no headgear. Even if it's just for a round, you see guys are getting knocked out. You have to be sharp. You have to be a good fighter to fight for TCL. And, you know, it's giving me a huge confidence boost because I'm winning fights. I'm putting people out. And I think it's going to help my career in the long run.
You know, as a broadcaster, you'll say the terrible cliche, oh, a warrior mentality, a gladiator attitude.
Yeah.
You really do have that.
I do, but I'm smart at the same time. You know, you see me fighting, I don't take a lot of punches. I haven't been knocked out before, and that's because, you know, I'm a smart fighter at the same time.
When you look at the team concept, you look around, you're like, Manny Robles is training world champions. Edgar Hasso fought in the ring. Everybody, from the coaching standpoint, it's giving you opportunities and exposure that you wouldn't have had any other opportunity, any other place.
No, I wouldn't. I think it's been a blessing, and it's been a dream come true just to be a part of this team because, like I said, I was daydreaming about being on TCO too. I was like, I like what they're doing. Imagine if I could be on the LA team representing LA.
The Mega Brawl is right there. I mean, you're in the playoffs. You got to get past Orlando. What can winning the Mega Brawl do for you?
It's going to solidify my spot and our team as obviously the best team in the league and as fighters individually as the best fighters in the league. And that's a lot to say with how many great fighters are in this league.
Some fighters might say, you know what, TCL's cool, but that's for you, it's not for me. They're making a mistake thinking that.
I think they just don't have the heart. It takes a lot of heart. It takes a lot of courage to get in there. It's not a lot of rounds, but that one round, someone's coming at you with all they got. And that takes a lot to know that and step in there.
When you're in a, say, 8-round or 10-round scheduled fight, you have an opportunity to build and study your opponent, break them down, whatever it is. 3 minutes, 1 round, you can't do that in TCL. You have to get after them.
Exactly. You have to. Or else, you know, you lose, and that affects the team.
There's your camera right there. Who are you?
Angel Muñoz, representing the LA Elite.
I've had friends that were paratroopers. They talk about how when they go up the plane, they jump, they land, go up, jump, land, and how jump day, it just takes everything out of their body because they're so tired. Did you ever jump and fight on the same day?
Exactly. I've done that before. Did? I've had an amateur fight lined up. I've been cutting weight for my amateur fight, getting ready, and then I get told at work, hey, you're jumping tomorrow. That quick, pretty much. I'm like, man, I had an amateur fight. They don't want to hear it. So you got to jump. You got to go do your duty, do your job. And so I went. Luckily it was a day jump with no gear on. It was you know, just a simple jump, but you got to be there early.
There's no such thing as a simple jump.
It's not a simple jump. I play it down, but we go early. You get rigged up. You go on a plane. You jump, and it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy out of you. You're already nervous thinking about a fight, but I did it. As soon as I got down, I packed up and went home. Got ready for that amateur fight that night.
How'd it go?
I won. I've won all my amateur fights, 10 amateur fights, but I've won them all.
And nobody knew that happened?
My cousin at the time, he was in the Army as well, and he was my coach, so he knew. But we kind of just like kept it on the low and just like, well, we got to do what we got to do. And it's an amateur fight. You know, you got headgear, gloves.
Yeah, but no, your rest of your battalion would get done and they go home and have dinner.
Oh yeah, they go home, they eat, you know, have a good time, drink. I believe it was a Friday too. And me, I'm going to fight. But that, like I said, I'm following my dreams, chasing my dreams.
Did your battalion know that you were fighting?
They did, and they would come and support me actually too. I had a lot of buddies, a lot of brothers in the military that would come and support me since the amateurs.
You're taking on Darius Hawk Jackson, who's headed to the Olympics after your fight. That's a great opportunity for you to shine, to get a great exposure, for him to get a good exposure. That's the fight I looked at. I'm like, wait a minute. When I saw the way he lined up, I'm like, he's good. Professional records the same.
Yep.
TCL records around the same. Like, that could be the fight of the night, man.
Of course. There's a reason they matched us up together, right? They want to see us go at it. And I'm ready. I'm ready to bring it all and win this round.
In fighting an Olympian, what do you think about that?
That's great too. Like I said, I have amateur experience, so I'm getting it right here in TCL. I think it's dangerous for him. You know, you might lose that opportunity fighting the Olympics if I take him out, but that's the risk he's taking.